Welcome to Channel 17, the Town of Colonie Government Channel.
Hi, and welcome to Real Conversations with Lisa and Susan. I'm Susan.
And I'm Lisa. Welcome.
Today we're going to be talking about women in leadership roles, and this is a subject that we have covered quite a few times on the show, but we're going to take a little bit of a different tact on it today because we're really going to be talking about alternatives to the workplace for women to develop leadership skills and express themselves as leaders in the community.
Yeah, and it's really great when you start delving into this topic to see all the different possibilities for how women can increase their leadership development outside the workplace.
Well, I think that and we're going to learn a little bit more about it later, but I think those ways developed really out of necessity because, you know, think about it. Women are born leaders, right?
Yes.
And they're up until fairly recently, and in many instances still today, there really aren't a lot of vehicles for women to express those leadership skills and interests and abilities. So, you know, just because they had to,
right.
They found other ways to do it.
That's right.
And a lot of it is through volunteerism and, you know, sitting on non-for-profit boards and things of that nature.
Well, and you know, and I think it's interesting that for years and years, women have been, I want to say, suppressed in leadership roles in the workplace.
Well, yeah, and why not? What's wrong with saying that? It's true.
It is true. There's nothing wrong with saying it, but I couldn't think of the right word. But anyway, and the fact that you know there is this glass ceiling, and breaking that glass ceiling in the workplace is such a challenge. It's great to see all these other opportunities for women to develop their leadership and then bring that to all areas of their life.
Right. And so, you know, you and I were, believers in the notion of women as leaders, and it's still astounding that today, in the 21st century, in the second decade of it, you know, we're where we are with women still struggling. You know, up until recently, I had positions in the workplace where I was really cloaked with like a big important title that a lot of people were scared of. And I think that, you know, that probably gave me a little bit more power, and I was listened to in a whole different way than most women ever get to be. And in my current position, I don't have that. And so I'm experiencing probably, you know, what a lot of women have experienced for most of their professional life. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very different. It's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in a few moments, we're going to come back with our guests, and we're going to talk to some women about women in leadership, and in particular in volunteer opportunities in organizations, I should say.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with our guests. Welcome back to Real Conversations with Lisa and Susan. And as we mentioned, we are going to be talking about women in leadership roles. And today we're very excited. We have two amazing guests. Boy, do we get good guests or what? We have with us Daneed Palmateer, who is a past president of the Junior League of Schenectady and Saratoga counties. And also we have with us Monica Miner, who is the vice president of girl development at the Girl Scouts of Northeast New York. And I'm so excited. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
It's really great to have you here. So I wanted to, get a chance to talk to both of you, but I'm going to start with you, Daneed. If you could just tell our viewers a bit about the Junior League, just a little bit, and perhaps how you got involved.
Okay, well, the Junior League is an organization of women. We are under the umbrella, the Junior League of Schenectady and Saratoga counties is under the umbrella of the Association of Junior Leagues International, which is an organization of 155,000 women.
Wow.
4 countries, 292 leagues, so we represent 292 communities. The Junior League of Schenectady and Saratoga counties has been in existence, since 1932. We are celebrating our 80th anniversary.
How fun.
It is very fun.
What's your membership size?
Our membership, we have over 200 members.
Okay.
A lot of our members have been with the league for many, many years. They're called our sustainer members. After a certain number of years with the league, you can go sustaining, still participate, do all of the things, but you don't have to have the requirements of being an active member or doing certain events. But our active members are about 60 active members in the community right now, and we have incoming classes of about 15 to 20 members depending on what's happening and where they are in their lives. So.
And it's all volunteer organization.
It's all volunteer. We have no paid staff, and so everything we do is geared at volunteering. But the Junior League is an organization that really is about women building better communities. And how we believe we do that is we bring in volunteers, but we train them. We train them to go out into the community, to sit on other boards, to make our reach better. So we're not just assisting the Junior League and doing one project. We're out there in the community every day.
So would you say, like, one of the main purposes of the Junior League is to train women to be leaders in their communities?
That is exactly what the Junior League is. Our mission about women building better communities is just that. Yeah. We train them to go out and to be better volunteers. And by being a better volunteer, you're going to be a better leader. You get out there in the community, you get your hands dirty, you get involved, and you know what's happening.
Yeah, I was reading on I know we want to get to Monica in a second, right. But I just wanted to mention I was reading on your website the vision for the Junior League, and frankly, before I got involved in the planning for this show, I really didn't know anything about the Junior League. I mean, I had heard it from some coworkers, but I was just so impressed with the history and the mission and the vision which I'll read, the Junior League, women around the world as catalysts for lasting community change. I mean, that just takes my breath away.
Yeah, it's great.
You know?
Mine too.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get back to some of those things you were talking about, how you develop leadership in women. Monica, we want to bring you into the conversation because you are the Vice President of Girl Development, which is obviously about developing girls, and part of that is leadership, right? And the Girl Scouts are having a big anniversary, right?
We are. This is our centennial year, so this is quite a big deal in Girl Scouting. Women leaders don't happen overnight. No. And that's where I believe the Girl Scouts is really a fundamental institution, in that we are the premier organization that brings girls into their full leadership potential.
Wow. And you have both paid staff, obviously. You're there, but you will have a lot of women who are troop leaders.
Yes, we have 11,000 girl members and 5,000 adult members just in our local council, Northeastern New York.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. It's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Has that gone up in the last 10 years?
We've had our ups and our downs. This year, I think we're down slightly, but there are a lot of wonderful things happening in Girl Scouts. So we're, I think,
because you know what? I think girls get they get a lot of bad press. A lot of bad press with bullying in high schools
and mean girls.
And the mean girls and girls not achieving their full potential and yada, yada, yada.
And Girl Scouts is really positioned to help girls defend against that negative attention, but also to develop themselves into the type of individuals who can stand up for themselves, stand up for other people, and really make change in their communities and in the larger world.
But it takes, does it not, a parent or an adult to get the girls involved in Girl Scouts?
Sure.
And it takes a lot of time and energy and resources for the parent or the guardian to support that girl.
Sure.
Right?
As with anything that is, worthwhile, there is going to be some commitment of time and energy and resources, but we believe that investing your time in the development of young girls into leaders is an investment for our community and for the world. So it's an amazing thing that we're trying to do.
Well, I want to read your, what is here on the back of your card, building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. I mean, talk about taking your breath away, right? I mean, the two organizations together is pretty amazing.
We were talking before we got on camera that the Girl Scouts is like a feeder for the women who are junior leaguers.
If we're doing our job well, I think that we will be a feeder organization.
Yeah, because so we got to get something going here.
Monica, tell us a little bit about the programs, because when a lot of people think Girl Scouts, they think cookies, they think badges, but it's really transformed
it
over
really
the
has.
years.
It really has. 100 years ago, when Juliette Lowe first started this organization, she was a little bit of a radical woman.
I know, I love her.
Yeah. She decided to take girls out of the kitchen and out of the home and take them out into the world, take them out into nature, teach them how to survive, and give them some skills beyond what society at that time felt was appropriate for a girl. 100 years later, I think that we're actually coming back to some of those values that Juliette Lowe first established the organization on, which is developing girl leaders. And today, Girl Scouts defines leadership with 3 keys: discover, connect, and take action. Those are the 3 keys of leadership for a Girl Scout. And by discover, we mean look at the world around you, look at the people around you, and find ways that you can make some change in your world. By connect, we mean that real leadership, particularly for girls, comes through collaboration, working with other people, and building your what an individual can do on their own is less than what she can do if she has other people involved and working with her. And then finally, taking action is looking at your world and seeing, what you don't like maybe, or what's bothering you, and making a decision to change it.
But those are 3 keys that could help anyone.
Certainly.
At any point in their life. And as I'm listening to you, I'm having the vision of, the kids who are just into social media, because now there's a lot of discussion about, Facebook kind of stealing that whole, or starving that ability to make friends and connect with people, because now everything is done through social media.
Yeah.
And, whenever I get in front of a group of youngsters or, girls, boys, whatever, I say, connect with people. First, just be alert. Watch your world. Wake up, look around. And I love that. That's your first key.
Yeah.
Look around your world.
Sorry. I wanted, because Daneed, I know the Junior League has changed a lot too. I mean, back in the day when I first heard about the Junior League, it was white gloves and really kind of foofy.
Yeah, I always thought it was kind of foo-foo.
Not in a bad way. Well, but it was mostly like upper class women in terms of financially giving back to their community. So I'm not, obviously very generous in that way. But it's really changed a lot too.
It has. We like to say that we still wear gloves, but now they're kind of gray. But we get out there, we do work. But in 1901, when it started with Mary Harriman,
there's a lot of rich history
she
there.
started this organization by going to the inner cities of New York City to bring literacy to those that were illiterate. So she took a group of debutantes, and she brought them into the community because there was nothing else to do. They were expected to be just that, a debutante. You don't have to do anything other than sit around, look pretty, and
get married.
and get married. So she changed all of that and started this catalyst that started in 1901 to change it for all of us. And through the years, it has progressed. You know, in the 1950s, it's talked about that the Junior League was an organization that was really more for the social, trying to think of a good word, but the more socially
social club, like a social club.
Exactly.
Women to connect, because
because otherwise you'd be in your house all alone all the time.
And
right?
the Junior League of Schenectady does have some rich history there, because it was established by a lot of women who were the spouses of GE. You know, all of those GE spouses started the Junior League of Schenectady. Many of them are still there and still out and about.
Well, I'm astounded. Again, you know, in doing my research, I was just so astounded and impressed with the list of women who have been involved in the Junior League, and some of the first ladies have been.
U.S. senators.
Nancy Reagan, Betty Ford, Laura Bush, Barbara Bush, Sandra Day O'Connor.
Katharine Hepburn, for goodness sake.
There you go, Katharine Hepburn. Just to name Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yes.
And I believe some of those women are also Girl Scout alums.
They probably were, yeah.
Well, I think what's really cool is that both of your organizations were started by women who saw something bigger, more was possible, and really breaking the mold for what it was to be a woman.
Well, there was a lot of that back in that decade, that first 2 decades of the 20th century.
But here we have
the
two
women's
organizations.
suffrage movement.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the sustainability of it is
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So you're doing something right? Can you tell us, Daneed, a little bit about some of the leadership programs that you specifically offer?
Well, we have, when someone wants to become a member of the Junior League, the Junior League itself had to do a project to get into the association. Our project was the start of Family and Child Service, which is still in existence today. We still have a member of the Junior League always sitting on their board of directors so that we stay involved. But a new member coming into the league has to do a project as well. And they pick their project and they do something in the community. My project, there were 13 of us. We renovated a domestic violence shelter home for the YWCA that needed some renovation. The new girls who just came in did a baby shower for some teen moms at the Catholic Charities.
That's because you said you have classes.
We
They
do
enter
have-
as a class.
They enter as a class, and they're given training. Some of the training is in public speaking, in fund development, in networking, in getting out into the community to go make these asks.
It is great.
And
What's the average age, roughly, of
it
the women coming
varies
in?
because the Junior League back in the day was just that junior. So there was an age requirement that you had to join before you were 30 and be out before you were 40. Go sustaining.
Blew past that.
as did I.
50 is the new 30, so I think we're...
Yes. So, but now we honestly have had members join, mother and daughter joined. So anytime over the age of 21, you can join. We had one who was a teacher. Her mother was retired. At different times now.
Isn't it such a great thing for a mother and daughter to do together?
Well,
I
and
love
times
that
have
idea.
changed. When you were in your 20s before, you weren't necessarily getting your career started and all of that and having your families. So now we noticed you're 40, your children are 45, and your children are grown up, and now you have this time because you're not running to practices and doing this. So now you want to get involved.
So that was going to be my next question. Why are women joining the Junior League?
The women are joining the Junior League first of all, for the friendships, the connections, the education, but it's a group of women who we're all on the same mindset. We want to do something good, the same way that Girl Scouts join each other and they create a better good. There's this wonderful vibe about being around women who want to do something and girls who want to do something.
I think it's great. And, I talk to so many people who are of a certain age. 50. I have a number of friends all around the age of 50, and they're starting to think about winding down their professional career and what are they going to do? What do they really want to do when they grow up? Yeah. And I know, the AARP has a whole campaign on that's led by Jane Pauley. She's kind of their spokeswoman for that. And I'm thinking something like the Junior League, since it doesn't have an age requirement any longer, would be a wonderful thing for women to get involved in, because it sounds like it's not just one thing. It's kind of like an entree to the community, right?
Yeah. And we do
really
various projects throughout the year that we continue to do as a whole. So besides the new member project, you know, I'm very proud of our Operation Back to School project, which is we're partnering with the Schenectady County Community College and their Smart Scholars for the last 2 years in providing backpacks to the children who qualified for that program, who had met a certain criteria of either being from, you know, getting free and reduced lunches or having
Economic income.
Exactly.
Type of
so
criteria.
we took on these classes, and the Smart Scholars program, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's such a great program that these students come into SCCC, they're Schenectady High students, and at the end of their 4-year high school career, they will graduate with 20 college credits at Schenectady County Community College. It's to stop, and the Schenectady County Community College got a grant from the Gates Foundation to bring this program there.
I read about that.
And what they do is, you know, they stay with these children. These children really were on the verge of probably not going to graduate, or, you know, were in essence. So the Junior League every year steps up, and we are still staying with all of those kids. This year there will be 350 students.
Well, you know what I hear? It's kind of like an entree, like you were saying. It's like if somebody wants to participate in the community, but they don't know how to get started, the Junior League might be a great way to do that, because you're getting trained in how to be on a board. I know the first board I was on, it was so daunting. You know, I figured everybody on the board knew what the heck they were doing, and I was like, hi, you know.
You just go along with the vote.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
You know,
all
and then
right.
luckily they did training, so I knew what the heck I was doing. But so it sounds like there's a lot of opportunities for leaders. I want to get back, Monica, to talk about some of the programs that you're offering, because we sort of got off track. Yeah. But like, tell us 1 or 2 programs that you're offering that maybe are different, that are geared towards having girls become leaders.
So the leadership development programs in Girl Scouting, we call them journeys, and there are actually 3 of them. They're It's Your World, Change It. It's Your Story, Tell It, and It's Your Planet, Love It.
I want a T-shirt. I want a T-shirt. Do you have some T-shirts that say that?
No, but
that's a good idea.
I do too.
I love it.
I just got chills. That's awesome.
It's Your Planet, Love It is our environmental awareness program, and it deals with water, air pollution, noise pollution, light pollution, conservation, all of the things associated with environmental awareness. It's Your World, Change It is our sort of advocacy program, looking at the world and saying, you are someone who can make the world a better place. And then It's Your Story, Tell It is built on self-esteem and healthy living and things like that, so that we're sort of approaching leadership from a personal place, from your position in the world, and from a sort of a take action place.
It's a very holistic approach.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, do you find that, like, for example, somebody who was a junior leaguer, I don't know if that's the right term, or somebody who was a Girl Scout as children, then they are more likely to have their children become involved, or they're young. Yeah.
We do. We have a lot of because, and you alluded to this earlier, Susan, that because a lot of moms are involved, or parents are involved with Girl Scouting, and that's because they were Girl Scouts themselves very often, and we have lots of stories of women, generations of women who their family story is, you know, I was a Girl Scout and it did such wonderful things for me. Yeah. And so, I want that experience for my daughter. So, yeah, lots of those stories.
And how else do you recruit, or I don't know, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean.
Well, you know, we have a lot, our traditional troops. You know, girls come in when they're in kindergarten or first grade and join a troop, and that's our biggest draw in terms of girl membership. But we recently underwent some transitions organizationally, where we have developed other pathways, we call them, for girls to enter Girl Scouting. So you can, if you're a girl who's interested in camping in the outdoors, you can enter Girl Scouts through our camping and outdoor pathway. Or
that wouldn't be me, just for the record.
You're too old to be a Girl Scout. There is an age requirement, right?
She can be an adult member.
There you go.
Go there. I'm still not going camping.
Maybe you like travel, because travel is one of our other pathways. We're this summer we're sending a group of girls to Alaska. They're doing outdoor stuff. They're going to go rock climbing.
All right, maybe in Alaska.
is her first choice for
No,
traveling.
I was thinking, the beach, but
We're sending a group of girls to India. And we're doing a project where we're sending a group of girls to Ecuador. Yeah, you'll go there.
I would do the Ecuador one, definitely.
But we also have what we call our series and events pathway, which is if a girl is interested in Girl Scouts, but she really can't commit to the weekly troop thing. Older girls often have very, very busy schedules. They're in student government, and maybe they play on a team, and that weekly troop commitment is more than they can commit to. So our series and events pathway is a really interesting way for girls to get the Girl Scout experience without having to do that weekly or bi-weekly meeting.
that's great. Now, Daneed, how do you guys recruit or let people know about Junior League? I mean, do you have a campaign?
We don't have a campaign. A lot of our members come from referrals. A lot of their mothers and tell their daughters and their daughters-in-laws and their nieces and nephews. And we're still out in the community because one of the things we teach is networking. I have to say, quite a few of our members have come from networking events, going to the Chamber of Commerce and mixers and talking, just like we're talking here today, to someone who says, oh, wait, I would love to get involved. I just didn't know where I want to be. And come to the Junior League. We will put you in touch, find what your passion is. We have women who come to the Junior League and then go out and serve on Habitat for Humanity. They go and work at the City Mission. They're on the Ellis Hospital boards, Carver Community Center, YWCA. But we have a feel because we have our hands absolutely out there in every avenue. You talked about the women who we've had, the famous women, the Eleanor Roosevelts, but right here in this town, we have the Denise Murphy McGraw, who's a town councilwoman, sits as chair of the Board of Trustees. We have Kathy Lewis, who's our president of the school board. We have Suzanne Smart, who sits at Ellis Foundation. There's just so many women who are out there in the community that you may not realize are Junior League women, but we've placed them there. They came to the Junior League, they learned, because one of the biggest things is fundraising as well, so we have to, which is hard to do.
Making that ask.
I've always said that is really the key to leadership, is knowing how to attract money. And I hate to be that way about it, but it is absolutely the truth.
Well,
I took a leadership program, and that was a missing component of the leadership program, and I had put a recommendation to revise the training to include that, because without that skill set, even in your professional life, you really can't go to the top. You need that skill set.
Well, and it's hard to sometimes make that ask. And in the not-for-profit world right now, with economic,
especially for women, women are afraid to make that ask. They're afraid to make it for themselves in their salaries when they're entering when they're going in for a new job.
How to ask.
You need to know how to ask for money and to feel comfortable about that.
Now, believe it or not, we only have a couple minutes left of the show. Yes,
you're kidding.
And I
See?
want to make sure that we get your websites out. So could you each tell us your website so that we can let the viewers know how they can get in touch?
Yes, so we are located at www.gsneny.org.
So it's gsneny.org, like Girl Scouts Northeast New York. Okay,
Right.
got
Yes.
it.
Right.
Great. All right, good. And
we're located at www.jlschenectadysaratoga.org. And our phone number is 618-2554. And, we'd love to hear from anybody. And we have a big gala planned for our 80th anniversary next Friday, the May 4th. So
Sounds like fun.
it would, dinner, dancing, and black tie. Come on out, join us.
Very glamorous, very glamorous.
It's all about the ask. Unfortunately, no programs. Girl Scouts.
Yeah, our big idea for this weekend is our Year of the Girl Run. We have 500 girls and adults who are coming out and will be running the streets of Troy in our Year of the Girl. This is in honor of our centennial. It's going to be a fantastic event.
And everybody's going to be wearing those T-shirts.
We're gonna have, we do have T-shirts. Everybody's gonna be in green, wearing their Girl Scout T-shirts. It's gonna be an amazing event. Yeah.
Well, we really want to thank you both for coming on, sharing about your organizations, and giving us your insights into leadership. And we really want to thank you for watching Real Conversations with Lisa and Susan.
Thanks.